welcome to another episode of Thinking Like a Bank, where we show you how to think like a bank by applying the same strategies and principles that banks use to help you find more financial freedom in your life. I'm your host, Sari Ibrahim. Today, I'm interviewing Junie Moon. Junie is a transformational coach helping people lower the volume of their inner critic so they can create powerful, successful lives. She's been on News 12 New Jersey, Blog Talk Radio, Authority Magazine, Thrive Global, and in the Newark International with her film Shed the Shame that she produced and starred in. She's also an international best-selling author of Loving the Whole Package, Shed the Shame, and Live Life Out Loud, international award-winning speaker, and host of the successful Midlife Love Out Loud podcast. You can learn more about Junie at coachjuniemoon.com. Junie, welcome to our podcast.
Good to be here.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. I'm looking forward to speaking today. I know before we started recording, we were talking about mindset and taking risks, chances, decision making, which are big parts of business, entrepreneurship, being an investor. Before we jump into that, do you mind sharing more about your background and what you do today?
Absolutely. I do personal growth work. I help people break through limiting beliefs and the challenges they bump up against when it comes to living fully and consciously. So many people struggle with moving forward because their past is still in control of their present. And so I am a transformational coach. I am certified in what a body of work called shadow work, which helps us see those patterns that are kind of in the background, those blind spots that sabotage us, as well as Tony Robbins' coaching program, strategic intervention coach, as well as a lot of life of learning how to break through these limiting beliefs myself so that I can have this amazing life. So that's what I do. I help people really claim their life on their terms without limiting what's possible.
And what are some examples of like limiting beliefs?
Yeah, what's interesting is, and I just had a client the other day say this, she's like, I can't hear my thoughts. I just feel them sometimes, And so as I share this, someone who's listening might be thinking, I don't think these thoughts, but you might feel the fear. You might feel the collapse. You might feel that I just don't want to move or the distractions. With that said, some of the beliefs are, it's not safe to choose differently, or I'm not safe. If I make a move, it might go badly. The proverbial shit might hit the fan.
Yeah.
I hope that was okay to say
Yeah.
that. And just, am I good enough? That's a biggie. Am I good enough? Who do I think I am to be able to make this choice in my business and my finances? Maybe I should just stay where I'm at. It's, I know this territory. So a lot of these beliefs have to do with past experiences, because if we've had something go sideways, if we made an investment that went sideways, we might be more apt to go, well, the last time it didn't work out, so why do I think I'm smart or able to do something differently now? And again, these a lot of times they're not even conscious thoughts. We just see behaviors of sabotage and limitation.
Got it. So my question was going to be what causes limiting beliefs, and it could be from past experiences, like more specifically like past failures, right? Like, so you did something in the past, you took a risk, it wasn't in your favor, and as a result of that, it limits your future decision making, like your future beliefs. And it might not be like directly conscious, like I'm not going to do this because of last time. It's more of subconscious and more of a feeling. Did I understand that correctly?
Yes, and so yes, absolutely. We have these experiences, lays down a lot of beliefs of, oh, that didn't work out. That was really painful. Ouch. I don't want to do that again. And then there's the biology, the DNA, the fact that we are born in these human bodies that has a long friggin' history of we need to survive.
Yeah.
And so we may not have the saber-toothed tiger chasing us,
Yeah.
but there's an old brain that's running us going, I need to survive. I need to stay safe. So we're bumping up against that human programming that's looking at our surroundings, looking at our choices and going, whoa, wait a second. Saber-toothed tiger, be careful, be careful, be careful. And so we're wired for survival. We're not wired necessarily for success. That's not our mindset. So we're kind of swimming up a waterfall when it comes to this programming. However, we can do it once we acknowledge, this isn't necessarily working for me. And the saber-toothed tiger isn't here. And I don't have a gun to my head, and I haven't drunken poison. So what can I do differently? And so as soon as we can actually update the software to, wait a second, things have changed, I can do something differently. So that's one piece. But the other piece is, what if you've actually had an experience that had your heart broken, or an investment go south? So all of these things are playing into your decision making now. And the good news is you can heal it and change it.
God, okay, that makes a lot. The first part of that makes a lot of sense, where it's like we have, these embedded fears because of our biology, because of the way we're wired. And we tend to make decisions based off of that. So it's a good thing that the caution is there, the natural caution, but it's also a bad thing because it holds us back from taking on more risks, from kind of that, like, from the opportunistic standpoint. Now, what are some things that they could do to break the limiting beliefs or to expand beyond their limiting beliefs?
The first thing I just want to just say is, to have a little compassion for ourselves, that we really are doing the best we can with this setup. And like you said, this part is valuable. We need this part. I call it the risk manager.
Yeah.
This risk manager that is watching out for decisions that could have a high price. So we need this discernment. It's overshooting. And so the first step, I would say, is awareness. And this might be like, Junie, really? But seriously, just being aware that we have this inside of us, that when we are finding ourselves distracting ourselves from making decisions and moving forward, or following up on phone calls, or investing in different ways, it's like, oh, wait a second, what's going on here? And let me just slow it down and look at this in real time with new eyes, versus letting the old stuff run you. So awareness that you have choice, awareness that the past does not equal the future, and to really live into that. And then there's action. I call it my, some triple A here. So to be aware, to allow yourself to be in your reality, allow yourself to feel the fear, allow yourself to feel the discomfort of, ooh, this is something something new, something different, to allow ourselves to actually be with the reality that we have of, we're stepping into a new arena, and then to take an action that might be different. And this in itself will update that risk manager, that part that's really trying hard to make sure nothing bad happens. Because when that part goes, oh, wait a second, there isn't the tiger, I'm not going to be kicked out of the tribe, I can make a decision, and I don't have to jump off a cliff and just invest all of my money. I don't have to jump off a cliff and just leave my job and start a new job, because that part is thinking, oh my God, danger, danger, danger. But if we slow it down, become aware, and we allow ourselves to go, wow, I'm a little scared. What is that about? Okay, let's see what's one good next step that I can do, and then take action, and then assess again. So it's about courage leading you, not fear, acting in spite of the fear, and actually befriending the fear. And that might be a new concept for a lot of people, because most people want to get rid of their fear, but their fear is an opportunity to go, oh, wait a second, I'm feeling some fear right now. What is that about? To be curious. So those are some steps I think people can take right now.
Got it. And then you mentioned something, a good thing. So not being outside their tribe. So I think this relates to social proof, right? Like if other people do something, it must be true or accurate because other people are doing it. So it's embedded with us to stay within our tribe. And it also could work against us. Like a lot of times this happens in entrepreneurship, right? So you're working at a company and you leave the company to start your own business, and here you are by yourself in your home office. You're outside of your tribe now. So this goes against your DNA now, in essence.
Yeah.
And that's a big reason why people don't make it as entrepreneurs, is because they're outside of their tribe for too long. Can you expound a little bit
Yes,
more? Uh-huh.
totally. It's so great. So great. And I've lived that one for sure. Being an entrepreneur, it's like, you know. So again, it comes back to the programming and cultural conditioning and what we have been told is the right way to be. This is, things are different now, especially since COVID. People
Yeah.
are like, oh, wait a second, I could just, start a new career. And however, a lot of people are struggling
Hmm.
with starting their jobs because they don't really have the basic foundation. But to your point, if we have been told over and over and over, get a solid job,
Hmm.
get a pension, set yourself up for success, put in the work, and then you decide to leave what you've been told,
Hmm.
that part of you might be freaking out. That part inside of you might be, well, you're in a new territory. And now, you might have your mom or your dad's voice in your head from the past, where when you were a kid, you wanted to get good grades, you wanted to be successful in their eyes. You equated that with, love and admiration. And now you're bumping up against some of that as well. I want to be able to be successful. I want to be seen as somebody with value. And so if we step into a new arena and we don't have the support, who we surround ourselves with is huge. I have a huge network of colleagues that have my back and I can reach out to when I have those moments, and I do, where I'm like questioning, am I doing the right thing? Should I really take this risk? And the whole compare and despair disease, we all have that too. It's like, look at them. They're doing so much better than me. What's wrong with me?
Hmm. Hmm.
Another belief, as if something's wrong with me if I'm not succeeding in the way that I think I should succeed. So, yes, we're stepping out of the paradigm that we've been taught, even get married at a certain age, have
Hmm.
kids at a certain age. So anytime we're going up, we're pushing against the grain of what we've been taught. And we're still surrounded by people that are it's like stepping out of the matrix,
Yeah.
right? Have you
Yeah.
seen the movie The Matrix?
I did a long time ago. I kind of forgot some parts of it.
Yeah, definitely see it again. It's one of those revisit.
Yeah.
And so there's, everybody's in this matrix and they just only know what they know.
Yeah.
And so suddenly, I forgot his name. Oh my God, whatever. I want to say Zero, but I know I'm close. Anyway, he took the pill and he suddenly is seeing so completely different. But the people that are still in the matrix, they don't know anything different. And so suddenly he's different. And thankfully he gets his support with other people outside the matrix. But that's what we're doing as entrepreneurs, as investors, with our hearts, because so much of what I do is helping people open up their hearts to love. If we don't, so it starts with knowing our worth,
Hmm.
knowing that we deserve something different and that we can do something differently. And then, yeah, if we take the blue pill or the red pill, whatever pill he took in the matrix, you are suddenly in a whole new world. And that can feel a little shaky.
Hmm.
However, it's okay. We just need to take one step at a time and surround ourselves with good mentors and support so that we can really be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely surrounding yourself. I think like reprogramming the social proof. So if everyone around you is in just like for example, not employee, I want to say like they're not on the same goals as you. And then you surround yourself with people who are entrepreneurs, who are far ahead of you in entrepreneurship, then it reprograms your social proof now. It lets you believe that there's far more out there than you actually believe or actually know, like in your point with the Matrix. So that's a big thing
Right.
so a big reason I think why a lot of people haven't reached that big level in business is they don't believe that it really exists out there because they haven't witnessed it themselves.
Right. And so they don't believe it.
Yeah.
That's the belief, like I don't see enough of it. And that's why it's so important to have a mentor. I mean, I spend some really good money
Yeah.
on having someone who's really successful
Yeah.
way ahead of me
Yeah.
so I can go, oh, she knows what she's doing. And she, in my mastermind with the other coaches, we support each other and we lift each other up as we learn, as we grow, because we can see what we're doing, what works and what doesn't work. However, if I continue to talk to some of my friends that get the paycheck, I
Hmm.
mean, to be really honest, sometimes I'm like, wow, that looks really good. They're getting, that paycheck and that pension. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, like, but then I also see that they don't have the freedom that I
Yeah.
have, and I'm living my passion. I'm living, a lifestyle that I want. So again, it's being aware of what you want, where you want to go, what's getting in your way, what are some of the restrictions, what are the limitations, what's the sabotaging behavior,
Uh-huh.
and taking action. And one of the things is find people that are similar, go to networking groups and connect with people that are doing what you do. And I really am a big advocate for finding a mentor that's a few steps ahead of you
Yeah.
so that you could know it is possible and you have them in your ear going, well, let's just move the needle this way and let's
Hmm.
try this.
Yeah, exactly. I think way ahead is definitely key. Like it's almost like in sports, right? Like if you were training for the next event or something, you would want your coach to be a previous professional athlete,
Right.
so somebody
And
who's going to push you, not somebody on the same level as you, because eventually you're going to plateau, you're going to reach that limit. Whereas if somebody's ahead of you, there's more limits ahead of you to reach.
yeah, I mean, my mentor has four mentors. She's got a $5 million
Yeah,
business, and she's got people that are, in the seven figures and then some,
yeah.
she has people way ahead of her to continue to help her move forward.
Mm.
And it's so important with getting that support to keep us on the beam, because
Yes.
again, we are still swimming up that waterfall that's going, you can't do this, who do you think you are,
Yeah.
you're not safe. And then there's like, let me just work at Starbucks.
Yeah, I get it 100%. As an entrepreneur, I get it absolutely. Now, Junie, can you give us an example? Like, let's say, for example, somebody reaches out to you, right, to work with you. What could they expect? Is it like a one-off coaching, or is it a package? What can you tell me a little bit more about working with
Yeah.
somebody?
So when somebody's interested in working with me, and I work with many different types of people. I mean, most of the work I do right now, like if you look out, on online platforms, you'll see that I focus with women, second half of life, that are wanting to have more love. With that said,
Hmm.
I have worked with business people and men and younger people for many, many years. And so when somebody reaches out to me and says, I really want to take my business to the next level, or I am really struggling, whatever, fill in the blank. We start with what I call a discovery session, where we really look at what are they wanting and what are some of the patterns, what are
Hmm.
some of the behaviors. So anyway, we have a conversation, and that's complimentary. And we're going to look at whether it's a fit to do work. I want to make sure that I can really make an impact, what it is that they're wanting. And they leave that conversation with a mini plan. And if it's a fit to do work, we can look at it. I do not believe in one session
Yeah.
anymore, one offs, as you would say. I mean, unless, it depends on the situation, because sometimes people need to experience my work first. But overall, we're swimming up the waterfall. It takes time to undo the programming. And so we look, and there's different ways to work. So we custom create a program to get them the results they need. I want to give you a quick story. I had this
Yeah.
man who came to me, extremely successful man, had multiple businesses. And there was this one business that he was just so passionate about. And he had a blind spot. He was like, I don't understand. I am very successful, but I can't seem to follow through with this business. I'm not following through with my phone calls and blah, blah, blah. And so we started doing this work because it's processing, it's helping people see beyond their conscious mind what's blocking them, to get that clarity, to get that shift. But it's more than just understanding it. It's really shifting and healing so that it's just not going to happen anymore. And so we did this particular process, and he remembered a message from his dad when he was a teenager about people like them. It was a multi-level marketing company at the
Mm-hmm.
time that he was investing in or starting. And his father was like, stick to the 9 to 5 job. People like them are scammers. It's pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
People like that take advantage of people. So what did he experience as a teen? Dad has, my
Yeah.
God, dad, the person I put on the highest pedestal, has an opinion about people like that. And he took on this belief, and he had this belief that people like that are bad.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to judge them, blah, blah, blah. So we did this process. He kind of joked. He's like, oh, I thought I was done with all my daddy issues. But anyway, he shifted his relationship with his dad in a way that he was like, okay, dad doesn't have to, I don't have to listen to that belief anymore about my dad. I have my own beliefs now. And this business is something I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
Suffice it to say, boom, he shifted and his business took off. He didn't know that there was this old program running in the background saying, don't do that, because people will not like you and people will leave you. And so that's why it takes some time. We custom create a program and we peel back the layers so that you can have the confidence and the clarity and the action steps to get you the results that you're looking for.
Wow, it's crazy. I mean, imagine how many people are like just like this person, where they have this secret problem they don't even know about, that them consciously don't even know about, that's holding them back from that next level, right? So
like everybody. we all have those hidden things going on.
I'm really glad you shared that story. It resonates more, with the story. So thanks for sharing that.
Sure.
Now, Judy, how can listeners connect with you and learn more about you?
That's a funny question, because we're about to change my website within days. So wow. Okay, this is the best way.
Yeah.
This email is not changing. So the best way to reach me right now, because I don't know exactly what my new email is going to be, is team, join the team Junie Moon, Junie Moon @gmail.com. That is the best way to get me right now.
Okay.
Because everything is changing in the next week.
Yeah, makes sense. I will put that link into the show notes so that listeners can just click and then connect with you. I really enjoyed our conversation today. I appreciate you coming on the show, and I'm looking forward to bringing you back on in the future.
Oh, thank you. And there's just one more thing, if it's possible to just share. There's an ebook I have, and
nice.
It's how to tame your inner critic, and it's 10 steps to help you really unleash what it is that you truly desire to create in your life. And I would love to gift it to anybody that listens. It's a really powerful workbook to really uncover some of those old beliefs and really get some traction into what it is that you're wanting by lowering the volume of your inner critic.
So they could email you, ask for the ebook, and then you email it.
I'm going to give you the link. Since you have show notes, I'll give you the link, and then they can just click the link.
Okay, perfect. Okay,
Does that work for you? I'm not sure. I should have asked you before.
Absolutely. Yeah, that worked.
Great.
Thanks, Junie. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you so much. This was such a pleasure.
To learn more about what we do and how we can help you grow more wealth, please visit www.finassetprotection.com. That's FIN, assetprotection.com. The topics presented in this podcast are for general information only and not for the purposes of providing legal, accounting, or investment advice. On such matters, please consult a professional who knows your specific situation.